friends, welcome back. Today I'm going to give you 5 classic Halloween horror recommendation books that aren't Frankenstein and Dracula. So if you want to hear what those 5 recommendations are, keep watching. Hi friends, welcome back. Today we're going to be doing another episode of Makeup and Books, and products will be on the screen. So the first classic book recommendation that I'm going to talk about is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. It's about this girl named Jane Eyre, surprise, surprise. And she's an orphan who grew up with an abusive aunt and cousins, and she gets sent off to boarding school, which is actually a good thing for her. She goes to school and graduates, doesn't really have anywhere to go, so she stays on at the school as a teacher. She applies to be a governess, and she gets a reply from Mr. Rochester at Thornfield Hall. And the house itself is a creepy gothic mansion. And then she finally meets Mr. Rochester, and he's super intense, and she isn't sure that she's gonna like him, but they eventually fall in love. He asks her to marry him. She says yes. They go to get married, and then this friend stops the wedding and says actually he's already married, surprise, surprise. And he has his wife locked up in his attic. She loves him, but she's unable to marry him, and she runs away for several months and then decides that no, actually, she needs to come back to Mr. Rochester. So it's a dark romance, gothic story with a lot of horror elements. The next one is The Haunting of Hill House, which is nothing like the Netflix TV show, but it's about a parapsychologist who teaches at a university, and he gathers together a group of people who claim to have psychic powers to help him research this house. And while they're there, their psychic gifts kind of bring the house alive in a way. And so some spooky shit happens. The third recommendation I have, The Yellow Wallpaper by Charlotte Perkins Gilman. It is about a lady who has had hysteria and kind of a mental breakdown, and her husband, he's telling her, I know what's best for you. We need to go to the country, and you need to be on bed rest until you're mentally well again. And so he's her husband, and he's a doctor, so she trusts him, because why wouldn't you? She slowly starts to lose her mind on bed rest because he doesn't want her to read. He doesn't want her to sew or do crafts or anything. He literally wants her to stay in bed and do nothing for months on end, if not years on end, until she's mentally well enough to handle thinking again. She slowly starts to go insane, and the room that she's in has yellow wallpaper, and it has a design on it, and she's in this bed looking at this design, and she starts to see a woman behind the wallpaper in the design, and to her it looks like she's trying to escape the wallpaper. She eventually starts tearing down the wallpaper to help this woman escape the wallpaper. It's a great story about feminism and how the male-dominated medical establishment doesn't really listen or care about women's health and mental well-being. The next recommendation is Turn of the Screw by Henry James, and that is just a good old-fashioned ghost story. Down on her luck girl applies to be a governess, and she gets the position, and it's this way out of the way country manor. She's working for these 2 kids, a brother and sister. Nobody's sure really what happened to her, but she was having a relationship with the butler, I believe, and then one day they both kind of disappear. And then throughout the course of the story, this governess starts seeing the ghostly apparition of this former nanny, and as well as the guy that she was having this relationship with. She gets spooked, she doesn't understand what's going on, and it's kind of like a murder mystery. She's trying to figure out what happened to this former nanny because she doesn't want it to happen to her. You're not sure throughout this book if the kids know what happened, if they had something to do with what happened. The last book is Hell House by Richard Matheson, and I will give you a warning about this book. Go into it knowing that it is literally terrifying. It's about the parapsychologist goes into this house with a group of people to help him investigate, and the parapsychologist is trying to prove that it is ghosts. It's something to do with ghosts, that ghosts are real. It is a really terrifying book, one that will probably keep you up at night. So just go into it knowing that. But just gonna smoke out the eyeliner a little bit. Don't want to go too hardcore. This is just a simple daytime look after all. Not going nowhere, not doing anything. I'm literally still in my pajamas because why not? So those are my 5 recommendations for some classic horror books that aren't Dracula and Frankenstein, because again, those are great, but that's all we ever hear about. I'm almost done with the look. Going to use some Dewy Coconut Setting Mist from e.l.f. My eyes are very orange and glowy. I thought it would set off the green, but it's not. It doesn't look bad, just doesn't look as vibrant. Oh well. Say lovey. Again, I'm not going anywhere. Guys, thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and leave your recommendations down below. I'll see you next time. Bye.